The fuck is going on this motherfucking app? This shit is weird as hell. And then all of a sudden, I'm the enemy for speaking up and defending women? What type of shit is this? I'm the enemy for defending women and sticking up for women. Y'all gotta make that shit make sense at the end of the day.
Yeah, that shit was hard to listen to and hard to watch. And you know what? I really am glad that you came over here because I'm trying to understand more about the background of this story. So that article...
He didn't want to bring his ass up there like he didn't tell us what he did to his cousin. Did he forget that there was a little boy that he raped? Like, you ain't no voice of reason. Get the fuck out of here.
Protect your life. SuSu, protect your life while this is happening, okay?
Hi. It's okay, y'all. Just keep bopping and it's okay. You got that off. It's okay.
Who loves the TikTok shop? I will say I got a cute dress from there. Uchi, can you give us like a very high level overview?
We need a high level understanding of everything because for me, listening to him, one second, Cash, listening to him. I'll let you go just once. I just want to say that listening to him actually admit to having that and saying that it was consensual. We've heard it time and time again. A lot of grapists say, oh, well, it was consensual. And a lot of grape sometimes it's hard to prove. So I want to let you go, Cash, and then I want Uchi to go. This is crazy.
No, I think we're essentially saying the same thing. Oh, they have wedding dresses on the TikTok shop? That's cute. If I'm hearing this for the first time, right, if I'm coming from Manny's space, we know now that you've been kind of like on the case, so to speak, for a couple days. I don't know how long, but can you just give us how you found out about this and what we would need to know?
First and foremost, this is how I found out about it. I was minding my own business, like always, and somebody sent me his live. And they told me, you need to check this man out. So I would go in his live, and I didn't see nothing wrong. I was minding my own business. I was just sitting there, and I was just watching. So one day I requested to go up. He ignored me. I requested it again. He ignored me another day. So I requested another day, and I said something in the comments like, "Why you keep rejecting me?" And the nigga, he let me up finally. And I said, "You know what, bro?" I said, "I see that you got a great platform. In fact, it's on the blogs. I said, you got a great platform. I see that you got a great support system." I said, "I'm trying to figure out," and I let him know. I said, "When I come into a room and a person in your life, I said, it's a reason. I said, somebody want me to get on your ass. But I said, I don't see nothing going on here. I said, I see you got a great support system and woo, blah, blah, blah." And niggas say, yeah. In fact, he cut the comments off. And it was just like a regular ass conversation. So I said, all right, bro. I said, you have a blessed one. So I went live. And as I'm live talking and just chilling, I started receiving all this information about Telvin. All of it just started coming into my phone, coming into my DMs, all that shit. So I'm looking at it while I'm on live. And I told everybody, well, this is what's going on. This is what people are telling me. Just so happened, he came into my room. And I'm like, bro, you need to come up here and address these allegations about yourself. You feel me? And the nigga, he avoided the conversation. He avoided it. You feel me? He sat back and said, I ain't coming up there, whoop, 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 whoop. And then he blocked me. And then his girl came in.
The moment that he found out that you knew about this and you wanted him to answer, he blocked you. Now it's beef.
Yeah, he blocked. I'm still blocked.
Thank you, Melanin.
And then I sat back and I thought about it. And then that's when I got on it the next day. And I've been on his ass ever since. So come to find out, like I said, back in 2016, he got arrested. He got detained for burglary and rape. You feel me? It's a big ass headline. It's a couple of headlines. And one of the headlines is sat back and said he broke into somebody else. He grabbed the young lady. He picked her up. He took her to the bedroom. He undressed her and he raped her. It says it in bold print. So my thing is, and SuSu, you know this as well. When you get convicted of something, when you go to jail for something, they give you a plea agreement. So they give you the plea agreement. That means you don't want to take it to trial and you take a lesser charge.
Yeah, you admit to guilt and take a lesser
trial.
Yep.
Okay. Now, if it got dismissed, your paperwork is going to say what? This case was what?
Dismissed.
So if you did not do this, show the black and white, and we wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't even be here right now. You could have been showed your paperwork eons ago before this, when the shit first got put up and people started speaking about it. Show the paperwork, and then the shit just go away. Won't nobody say nothing about it.
So Okay.
can I just
Now
add?
I understand. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, Cashy.
Hey,
I am
Hippie.
having my afternoon. Hey, Lady Susu, how are you? Good
I'm
day
good, my
to everyone
love.
in the panel as well. And Petty Polly, you were our blogger of the week on my show. Thank you so much for all you do. But to the point, I was
Thank
randomly in
you.
Uchi Live the next morning when he came. Like, I was just like, oh, Uchi, I'm coming to take a drink. And I was like, who is this man? So I already knew of him from the other saga because y'all know I'm nosy and I be on every side of TikTok. But to the point, though, what really like changed my mind and people like, oh, news articles can lie. I understand that any news media in America was created by some YT man. It is created to have their own narratives and they go against black people all the time. That is true. But that article was very specific. A. B, it didn't say, oh, he forced her to undress or he held her at some point or whatever. It said he undressed her. And the next thing was, it wasn't just the article in it there. Then in the article, it says the family says that the girl started acting different and they started noticing something in her. Her behavior changed. It was a lot of very specific things in that article that he never addressed. He just be like, oh, the girl lied on me. And the last thing I want to add is he says every time he said in his live and he said in Manny Live today, during that time period, he was having extreme rug use. So that right there let me know you probably don't even remember what happened, my boy.
That's even being too generous to say. You know what I mean? That's even too generous to say that he did. But like,
Blame it on the alcohol. I get you saying, Susu.
yeah, that's even too generous. But I hear what you're saying, Hippie, in the detail. That must be detail that's coming from documentation, meaning a police report. The only way that you could really acquire that would be to go to the police department in which arrested him to really know the details in which what the victim went through.
Because
Right.
a news
Yeah.
article
And that
is
was
not a
actually in the
blog. Like a news article is not a blog, right? We understand that if it gets to a certain point, especially for local news, national news, like there are journalistic standards that they have to abide by. There are certain things that can and cannot be said. So again, this is not like salacious gossip or anything like that. So that's why today I was a little irritated. Well, I wasn't surprised, but irritated with Manny when you were talking about showing certain paperwork in that we talk about court cases all the time on this app. There are people who have massive platforms who show all kinds of court documents. So it's not necessarily doxing if you're showing a court document to raise awareness about something that happened. Thank you so much, Chrissy. I love that gift. But like, can we be fucking for real? The amount of people coming out of the woodwork talking about, oh, well, how do we know he wasn't lied on? And people have sex every day. Like, do y'all really want to be on the side of somebody who is being accused of like a very heinous rape? Like, is that the hill that we really want to unalive on?
Yeah, and Cashy, in that same vein,
very
I know
scary.
for other people it's new and they're like, oh, we're blaming this guy, da 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 da. Uchi been on this for at least a week, so I've seen the guy. The guy has literally blocked me out of his live. So I've heard him talk in circles many times. You know I got an analytical mind. And I believe he tells lies like 1, 2, 3, and they don't be good lies. So that kind of leads to my doubt in his story overall because he just seemed like he just lied real bad. So I don't know if it's true or not. I'm not saying that he did do that, but what I am saying is, based on the article, I don't think that he's given us any good proof or any good statements that we could go on and be like, you know what, that makes sense. I see how something like that could happen. Say, for example, somebody say, oh, me and Billy was together and me and Billy been friends for a long time. Everybody know me and Billy been in a relationship. Me and Billy both 16. We end up messing around and then something happened. Okay, I understand that. Maybe there's some gray area there. Other people are not sure. He wasn't friends with that lady. That wasn't his homegirl.
So you're saying that was a woman he had no affiliation to or nothing? That was somebody he had no idea who she was, and he broke into her room?
It said it was burglary.
Yeah.
God.
He said the other day in a live, not that he didn't have any affiliation or didn't know her, but that him and the woman were not in a relationship at the time or they weren't talking to each other. So my understanding is maybe they knew each other from around the neighborhood, but that wasn't like his girl or somebody he was getting to know. You know what I mean?
Uchi, can I ask you a question? Is he trying to dismiss the whole thing, the burglary and the grape, or just the grape?
Just the grape.
Hello?
Yeah,
What are we discussing right
Get your ass out of here. We don't got time for that. I will say this, you guys. For some reason, right, there's two arguments that are going on here. I hate the argument of let's protect our black men and all these fake accusations and stuff. How often do people, put fake grape allegations onto people? at the end of the day, that's one of the crimes that's very, very hard to prove, and that's why there's a lot of people that don't come forward and talk about their experience with their rapists. Okay, it's an uphill battle for the victim anyway. Number one, number two, this whole social currency thing. Just because you see someone on live and they have a large following and they're charismatic and they seem like good people, does not mean that they're incapable of doing certain things. And that's one thing that I cannot stand about social media nowadays is this whole social currency thing. Because people like him, why would he be doing that? Or because he has this sort of money or this sort of clout or whatever. It's very frustrating. That is a very frustrating battle. I want to say shout out to you, Oochie. At the end of the day, it's awareness. It's something that we did not know about this public figure. I don't even be mad when people have things to say about me. About my past transgressions and stuff. I wish people gave me more grace, but it seems like they give a lot of black men a lot more grace than black women, right? That's just whole nother argument. But I just want to understand more about how far you've come along with this. Was that the last conversation you had with him? After you got blocked, that was it?
Right there on that panel is the first conversation I've had. That's the second conversation I've had with him. He, like I said, I haven't had an opportunity to talk because he blocked me. He blocked me. I can't. Anytime I go into his room with any page, he blocks me.
This is crazy.
I'm still stuck on the part of him breaking in her house and then her falsely accusing him of raping. What would be the need why would we put them two together? Somebody just broke in my house and I say this person did this to me. Why are y'all now questioning me? He literally broke in my house.
My thing is, so he got charged with the burglary, right? But she said that she got raped as well. So
thank you, Brooklyn.
If she lied about the grape, why did you get charged with the burglary? Clearly, something ain't right.
Right.
You would have got dismissed on all charges because she would have lied, and they would have been like, well, you know what? Your word ain't valid. But
I'm saying, right? I don't understand. If I tell you you broke in my house. If I tell somebody broke in my house and did something to me, why would you be like, okay, he broke in your house, but he didn't do that? Huh? How do you know that? Jesus.
He wasn't charged with the burglary either. Bring up Giselle.
Giselle, go ahead. Hello, go ahead, baby.
Hi, I just wanted to chime in real quick. My mother used to always tell me, if it walked like a duck, quack like a duck, then it is a duck. I've sat back and I watched this man manipulate Grip, Bossy, and now his next victim is Alicia. Just by how he treats women, especially how he talks to Alicia, be quiet, I'm talking, putting her on mute, pretty much hating on her, being a narcissist anytime she does good. It's just, he always seems to have some type of problem. What I say
go, Blaze. I appreciate that, Blaze.
Did not tell you to be quiet. It's like, first of all, who is you talking to? So
So you're saying the actions that he has towards the women around him or that we've seen around him.
If you treat your own woman like crap, just imagine what you would treat the next woman. And that's all I'm going to say. If it walk like a duck, quack like a duck, it is a duck.
And I even put it out there.
Hold on, somebody in the comments said
he didn't do it. He has to give this man a public apology. I don't have a problem with that. But show us that you didn't do it. That's my whole thing. Just show us that you didn't do it. And I don't have a problem. This shit could have got swept under the rug so long ago if you would have just provided the proof. Like, yeah, look, here go my paperwork.
I think
one second, y'all. Everybody that's coming in, please bop the screen for me. I appreciate y'all. If you're new here, grab a follow, grab a heart me. We do have a live goal up here. And I believe that Dab was trying to say something. Thank you, Hello, for coming up here. I believe that Dab was trying to say something, and then Cash. Okay, sorry, Cash.
Somebody in the comments just said, I don't know how true this is, allegedly. They said he was breaking in houses with a child. And he was breaking in people who was going through tornadoes with his child.
That was the second time. That was the second time. That's what he's on probation for right now.
Oh, okay. So that's what he do. He do B&Es and burglaries. That's his thing.
Got you.
Go ahead, Cash.
Here's my thing, right? I think it's going to be very hard to get somebody who is not interested in having a conversation to have one, let alone prove that they didn't do something as egregious as this. I think that the easiest battle to win, right, is the battle of public opinion. So if you can reach as many people as possible, if you can get the story out there, get the facts of the story out there, you know what I mean? Point people to the article, point people to whatever public documents are available and allow people to come to their own conclusions. I think more than likely the court of public opinion will decide, right? Like, I personally would like to read the article. I haven't seen it. I've scrolled past and seen you talking about the story, but I haven't really looked into it, to be honest. I just had other shit going on. So is it going to be more
The article goes
to the
into
table?
vivid detail. Uchi read it on his live, right?
Okay, but
yeah.
So yeah, I feel like awareness is probably the easiest thing, or the most like accessible thing that we can do, because we can't force that nigga to come here or come to wherever and be like, no, I didn't do it and here's why I didn't do, like, he's not going to do that shit, right? But if you let enough people know, people will decide.
Lucy, I did hear when you was in his live, you asked, you told Manny I can put it up. So what is it that you was talking about when you was like, I can't put it in my background?
The news article.
The news, okay.
So a lot of people haven't seen the factual article.
Yeah, you can put it up over here.
Can I read this comment? It says, what state is Cash accent from? I'm British, but it has to be the worst accent in the USA. Thank you.
Bruh, y'all bump the screen, and make sure that you guys grab a heart me while you're in here, okay? Join the team and grab a heart me. I'm gonna big box Uchi.
That's always one of my followers too. Like, I wish y'all would stay off my neck.
We drove down to Big Willie's and Joshua's.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna type this in.
If you guys take your screenshots, then you'll be able to read.
Exactly.
Just grab your screenshots and then you'll be able to read, okay? Read that. Thank you for coming up, Yaya. You want to go ahead?
Yes, hi. So I was over there in that other live, child, and it was a hot mess. So listen, okay, because I'm all that yelling and screaming I can't do, right? So what I wanted to say was it was a few things that kind of just was like, I was like, where are we going with this, right? So the bottom line is awareness. Anytime you're doing awareness on a topic like this, the person that you're doing it on and the people that support that person is going to always feel that there's some type of intent behind it. So anytime you're speaking on awareness and they don't like it and they think it's them putting in the bad light, or they just need this whole situation to just be swept underneath the rug, then of course it's going to be some type of intent on your end, right? Something bad, something, whatever they're going to try to come up with that with, okay? So now it's brought up that Uchi. Now, mind you, me and Uchi has never had a conversation outside us talking about this on a panel ever. So a lot of these people seem like they know each other, they've worked with each other, they've done something. So I'm more so outside looking in, okay? I'm not really concerned whether or not if Uchi younger people or not, because a lot of these old ass bitches on here like a lot of these young dudes too, so they not really innocent anyway, and he's not the one with the record, so we not talking about him, right? So I be feeling like that's kind of a way to detour you away from what's the topic at hand, right?